Hello, KW Dublin, Ohio, and Greg. I am Seychelle Van Pool, and I'm so excited to be joining you guys for your ALC clinic today. I understand you guys have an amazing ward that you're working with this year that is one that has been a part of a lot of companies, most notably Walt Disney's company with Disney. And when Greg asked me to speak to you guys on this, I started thinking about what the word experience means to me and means to our team as we come into 2021. And so just to give you a 5-second background on me and our team, I'm based out of Dallas, Texas, and we actually have a little bit of cold weather today, so I'm feeling a little related to you guys in the Midwest. Actually, I have a lot of family from Dayton, Ohio, so I'm a big fan of your state, and I know you guys are in one of the most prestigious parts of the state. And so we're based here in Dallas. We've got a team of 20 now that are here, but I started in 2004 with Keller Williams and started in my early 20s coming out of corporate advertising, working for ad agencies in Austin, Dallas, and New York. And when we started, there was no like big teams. It was mostly mother-daughter, father-son, husband-wife. And so I did, right, with what that model was. I came and joined my mom in business to help give her an experience of an opportunity for retirement. My dad had been diagnosed with Parkinson's in my late teens, and I knew that at some point we would have to work through taking care of him. And if my mom was going to look at taking care of him, I needed to make sure that someone took care of them. So that was what drove me to get into real estate, was really the experience of delivering security for my family. And, when I look at 2020, so many of us, I think, experienced uncertainty. I think we experienced stress. I think we experienced having to reinvent and our clients, right, in all different places at all different times. And I know you guys are the top of the top. And so, what my hope is for 2021 is that we continue to look for the gifts of what we found in the last year, and we continue to look at what we're moving forward of creating an experience of opportunity and creating an experience of grit and an experience of positivity, because we know that people are attracted to those things. And I believe that is what Keller Williams has delivered to us, is an opportunity to create positivity and wealth and help, right, coming with a servant's heart. And so I have 6 things for you guys in creating an experience for you, which I think is most important, right? You need to think about what experience do I want to have in 2021. And then second, in your business, I've got 6 things, and this is our COVID puppy, by the way. This is Hatari. So I have 6 things for you guys that I think would be helpful for creating your personal experience and your experience in your business for 2021. So let's dive in. So the first one I have is stick to what's simple. And that sounds so simple, but yet it's actually not simple at all. Sticking to what's simple is actually one of the hardest things I've ever done in my business, because I often want to stick to what's shiny and sexy and new, and simple really oftentimes is not associated with sexy, right? Simple is considered boring. It's considered replicatable. It's considered a widget or a system or an operations. And my encouragement to you is to go back in your business in 2019 and 2020. I want you to look at what worked. I want you to write it down. I want you just to brainstorm, write it down for 10 minutes. And I want you to circle the 3 things that you are going to commit to keeping in your business to keep it simple for 2021. The second thing I want you to do then is I only want you to add one thing at a time into your business or your personal life. And the reason why we do that, right, is we have a book, we have a model for that called The One Thing. But I've also just discovered that by very methodically adding things into your life and into your business over time, it also forces you to take a look at some of the things that aren't working so that you can make white space in your world. And so by looking at, I'll give you an example, client events. So 10 years ago, we started adding client events, and we had done 0, big, giant goose egg, 0 client events. And so if I had gone from 0 client events to 4 a year, or 0 to 6 or 12 a year, what experience would that have created for our client base, right? That would have gone from like, Seychelle, you never have done events for us ever. Like, we don't see you except when we need to buy or sell, to like, whoa, you're like kind of like all over me all the time. And so the experience we wanted to create was an experience for our clients of delighting and surprising them. And so we started for 4 years, once a quarter, we added up to 4 events. And then what we had the opportunity to do was get one, commit to it, do it well. The next year, repeat it, do it again well, and then add a second. And so it allowed us to build momentum. And I'll give you an example. Like our first year we did our pie day, we had 50 pies given away, and we had hundreds of past clients. So we thought, gosh, this isn't great. 50 may not, you have hundreds of past clients, 50 was not great. We said, we're going to commit to it and we're going to keep moving. And so we did, and the next year we did 120, and then the next year we did 240, and then the next year we did 325. And this last year, even with COVID, in 2019 we did 550 pies and 26 referrals. This year, in 2020, this last year, we gave away 750 pies with 37 referrals. And so I encourage you to think about, stick to what's simple, add one thing at a time, and systematically layer it in, because that's where you're going to see your momentum building in your business. And that's going to create an experience of predictability for your clients, which actually creates a lot of comfort and security, right? In a world that's so unpredictable, if they know what to expect from you and your business, it's going to create a lot of security and comfort for them. The third one is probably the one that I've had the most challenge in the last year. It's called creating white space in your day, in your calendar, in your business. And what I would encourage you to do with that is white space when you're becoming a leader, when you're leading your business, matters. And goodness gracious, we have a little puppy that just wants to be held. Come here, bud. So forgive me for our sweet little puppy here. So white space matters. And white space is something that I can tell you right now I have failed forward at in the last year, between homeschooling and leading a team. And we had a huge, massive turnover for the first time in our business on the sales side with our sales agents last January. Thank you, buddy, right before COVID. And so that was just crazy in itself. And so, we're reinventing our business, and then 45 days later, COVID. So it was a huge challenge. I got pulled back into a lot of jobs I wasn't doing before. I had to rehire. We had to rebuild. We had to, I had a lot of leadership failures where when you have turnover, the first thing I always do is look internally. And so my white space just completely went away because I became doing instead of focusing on the strategy. And so I got in the weeds big time this last year. And so this is Seychelle self-talking to you guys. Make sure you're planning 30 minutes a day of white space where you can focus on what's most important in your day. Focus on what strategy is the most important, where you want to go. Are you doing the right things to drive your business and your life in the direction you want to go? Because we all have the same amount of time. And there's gifts that we absolutely have the opportunity to have. The next one is, in following with my strategically adding things over time, is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. This is number 4. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And what I mean by that is we get in such a hurried rush to get everything done, and our society and our Facebook and our Instagram and our cell phones and our Yelp leads, all these things, right? Everything wants instant gratification. We all want it. We want it now. And what I would say to you on the wealth building journey is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And so over the last several years, we've been slowly acquiring rental properties one at a time and letting themselves pay themselves down. And a cool thing about that was we acquired one rental 5 years ago. And it's in our neighborhood. It was like a really dumpy duplex. And it turned out that one of my awesome team members had her husband pass away in the end of 2019. And what that meant was an opportunity for us to help take that dumpy duplex and turn it into a single family for her, and then be able to, hey, Quinny, can you take Tari outside? I think he has to go potty. Would you mind? Can you take him outside? Can you take him outside, please? Thank you. Sorry, guys, we're getting this puppy attack over here, and I want to make sure I get you what you guys need for your ALC. So you're like dealing with real life Seychelle here today. Um, so, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So we're doing these investment properties, and Gwen on our team, who's an incredible human being, had her husband pass away. Honey, you're gonna have to stay out there with him. And when her husband passed away, we were looking to move her. She was our expansion agent in Austin. We looked to move her back up to Dallas, and she couldn't find anything that was interesting to her. And so what we were able to do was take a property we had bought 5 years ago, sell it to her under market value, and completely gut the whole property and completely make it where it was a brand new interior of a home and a really cute kind of historic neighborhood for her. And we were able to then 1031 exchange that into a property that we're going to eventually have as our lake property up in northern Michigan. And because we have been slowly acquiring these rental properties over time, all of a sudden we turned around and I was looking at my vision board. We create vision boards every year. And I for a long time, I did them kind of halfway because I thought they were kind of hokey, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I realized that by hanging that up in my bathroom every day, having it up every year in my bathroom and seeing it every morning, I started focusing on the things that were important to me. And what I put on those vision boards was not a lot, but the things that were important. And one thing we were thinking about when we were selling this property to Gwen was, we could go buy another rental here locally, which would be, something we could do. The numbers at the time, we have a lot of appreciation going on. It seems like the whole world is moving to Texas right now. And so the numbers here for the properties we were looking at weren't necessarily what we wanted them to be. So what we did with that was we decided to take a look at our vision board. And on our vision board was my husband's from Holland, Michigan, and he loves fresh water. You guys have the most amazing lakes up in the Midwest that I have ever seen. They're just mind-blowing. We don't have anything like that in Texas. And his dream was to have a place where he could have a lake house with fresh water, and like Midwest fresh water and not Texas fresh water. And so we started asking ourselves the question, why don't we just 1031 exchange and go do that now? Why wait? And because we had been slowly acquiring these properties, all of a sudden we were able to smoothly and quickly move to a vision that had been on our vision board for 5 years, but that had always been a someday dream, and all of a sudden make it a today dream. And so I say slow is smooth, smooth is fast in how you operate, and suddenly you wake up and your processes are in place and your business is exploding, or your referrals are coming in like crazy, or your children have grown, or you're buying lake houses in northern Michigan in the middle of COVID, whatever it is. Just don't forget that you don't have to do it all at once, but by layering it in and really going slow is smooth, smooth is fast, it really makes a big difference in where you go. And number 5, layers on top of that, which is take care of you. You only get one of you, so don't forget some self-care in there. And I don't mean just like go to the spa or get a massage or a pedicure every now and then for those of you that love that. I mean also, what are you doing on a daily basis? Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough time with your loved ones and really present, focused time? And if you're not, I think for us as entrepreneurs, I definitely have had times in the past year, and even in the past couple of weeks, where I felt really tied to my phone, really trapped by my phone, or trapped by the business that I have built. And sometimes we can create a business so big that it actually creates walls around you. And so what I would encourage you to think about is, what kind of a life do you want, and what kind of a you do you want? Because we only get one of these. And make sure that you're time blocking some self-care daily into your day. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, and make sure you're getting enough water. And boosting your immune system always helps too. But you are the most important asset in your business. And if you don't have you, you don't have anything else. So let's make sure we take care of each other and ourselves. And then the last one is not the sexiest one, but I think it's one of the best ones we can have in our business, which is know your numbers. Knowing your numbers will save you millions of dollars, and it will make you millions of dollars. And so the numbers that I figured I would end with giving you the numbers that we track on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to help you in your journey as well. So some of these are obviously business related, like, where are my leads coming from? What are my sources? How many do I have coming in on a weekly or monthly basis? How many of them are converting to appointments and then appointments to closing? And then the second part is, hang on one second, baby. And then the second part of that is knowing your market numbers. And this one has been like a real ninja move for us. And so if you're not tracking it, I want you to start tracking it. And that is on a daily or weekly basis. I want you to start looking at your, and you guys might have some reports in your MLS that can let you retroactively pull these. Our MLS here in Texas doesn't allow us to. So the retroactive reports I want you to go pull are every Monday morning. What are the active, how many active homes do you have in your MLS? Thank you, buddy. How many under contract in the last week? How many pendings? How many solds? And how many canceled expired? And so we started tracking this 5 years ago, but what's really cool about it is our MLS doesn't let us go retroactively pull like this week, last year, how many actives there were, because the actives move through the statuses or the pendings move through the statuses. So I can't go back and retroactively pull that. So just in a Google sheet, and Greg, if you want, I'll share this with your ALC. I'm happy to send it to you. We track these. And so what's cool is like I know during COVID, the bottom of the market for us, we were 27% down on new homes hitting, new like listings hitting the market. And at our peak, we were 19% ahead on homes going under contract. And so it allowed us to be able to really on a week-by-week basis know, like, am I crazy? Is our market cratering? Are we doing well? Are we not? And every week you can kind of just have a real, it takes once you get it set up, it takes like 3 minutes to pull. The key is pulling it at the same time every single week. So if you have an assistant, it's a great thing for those that love systems and steady, stable processes. Perfect thing for them to do. But that would be a good thing for them to do for you to really feel empowered as you move forward to be able to know those numbers on a weekly basis and to know then as your market moves, those numbers will tell you before the news or your broker or anybody else can tell you if you're tracking them that way. So I would encourage you, knowing your numbers will save you millions and it will actually save your clients millions too. So that is my 6 tips to create the experience for you and your business and your clients that you want in 2021. I know you guys are going to knock it out of the park. I'm so happy for you that you have Greg as your team leader. He's just phenomenal. And I want to wish you guys a very, very happy start to the new year. And I wish you health. I wish you success. And if there's ever anything we can do to help you here in Dallas, let me know. And I'm excited to see you next week for Dominate as a hyperlocal expert. Y'all have a great one.